Barakateh Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is These Things Must Happen. Pretty much it's the title that came to me last night. Just meditating, on the times that we're in, and on current events, things that are happening. And pretty much, these hard times have to come to pass. The time of Jacob's trouble, the famines, the pestilence, the MOTB, and all these things have to happen, including World War III and the destruction, in order for us to be able to get to the kingdom. Because these are things that were foretold, in the scriptures long ago. And even though it's going to be uncomfortable, these are things that have to go down before the end can come. And if these things don't go down, then we can't get out of here. So I just want to start off with this scripture here, 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And we're about to start entering some real turbulent times. And it's going to get rough. But like the Lord said, that his servants will eat, his servants will drink, his servants will joy, his servants will sing, but all the rest won't. So these things have to happen. They have to go down this way. Yeah, this is a good precept brother just put up. 2 Ezra 4:28. But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Right. So the evil is sown, but this destruction hasn't come yet. So in order for that destruction to come, the evil that's sown has to be plucked up. It says, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, because these devils turn everything upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. That's right. And that's pretty much what we're waiting for. Because in order for the kingdom to come, this present, time right now, and this present ruler, Esau, they have to go down. And it's funny, the brother just put a comment, the up and coming Elder Hawad from the North Carolina camp. I was watching his video this morning, and pretty much he's going through a situation down there where there's no power. I don't know if they got the powers back on or not, but he did a video pretty much dealing, with that situation, and the elect are still going to be subject to some of these things. We're still going to, Lord's will be the elect. Brothers are still going to be here, sisters are still going to be here in the midst of some of these things. But somehow, some way, the Lord is going to make a way for, for us to get through it if we be a part of the elect, Lord's will. So these things have to happen. So you have to keep in mind, we can't have the frame of mind to be complacent. We can't have the frame of mind to just want everything to be easy and cool, because if that's the case, the destruction ain't gonna come. Yahushua won't come, So all of these things have to happen before the end can come. Like I mentioned, you got time of Jacob's trouble. You got martial law. You got the concentration camps. You got the implementation of the MOTB. I was just watching the video that the brother from the New York camp sent me, Yashalam, pretty much on transhumanism. And the guy Zoltan something, that dude's a real demon, because the other guy was asking him, pertinent questions about, people being left out, and and should he take that money that they invested in that AI and use it to end hunger, so on and so forth. And he was saying like yes and no. So he was doing a lot of double speaking, you know, and that's what them devils do. You know, so this man has to be put down because the whole world is turned upside down because of the things that he's done. And if this man doesn't get put down, then the kingdom of heaven cannot come. There's Isaiah 29 and 5th. The point is 16. Let's just go straight to the point. Surely a turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as a potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? So pretty much they've turned the world upside down. And now the Lord has to turn it right side up. And the only way that that can be done is by the devil that's in power being put down. All right. This is Psalms 82 and 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. So yeah, they're out of course. Why? Because the person that's ruling it is not ruling it in righteousness. You know, I was sent a video by the brother Yakal out in Arkansas, and pretty much they show you all the fake food and the real food, and the way that fake food burns and the way that real food burns. You know, the differences. And this devil boy, I had a feeling too that so-called, you know, that when you buy rice, that some of the rice was mixed in with, you know, with some of that plastic shit in it, you know, and that's why people have a lot of digestive problems, because the food that is being eaten is tainted. So pretty much this devil has turned the world upside down. He's destroyed the quality of the air. He's destroyed the quality of the food. He's destroyed the quality of the water. And therefore the Lord is going to destroy him. Just bear with me. And you know, shalom to all that's on the comment board. You know, it's the sincere. Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name. And that's key. Small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And that's pretty much what we're waiting for. So you have to remember that in order for this thing to go forward, everything that's in the scriptures has to be fulfilled. Everything. You know, the hardships, the great persecution that's coming, you know, the detention centers, you know, the mandatory implementation of the C to the HIP, or the C hip, put the C and the hip together, you know, Jacob's trouble, all of that has to happen. And those that don't want that to happen means that they don't want the kingdom of heaven to come. And what did Yahushua say? He said, those my enemies that would not that I should rule over them, bring hither and slay them before me. You know? So that's what we're waiting for. That's the spirit. The brother put that precept up. I got that. I'm holding that right now as we speak. So let me get this other precept and then I'll get that one. This is Isaiah 55 and 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. So these words are not going to return unto the Lord void. They have a mission, and the mission is going to be completed. Because like it says in Habakkuk, at the end they shall speak and not lie. So we're witnessing the times where these things would start being shaken, when these things would start moving, you know, where all these different prophecies that we read about would be being fulfilled, you know. And with this technology that this devil is pushing out, is pretty much moving everything forward faster. You know, it's moving forward faster. So let's read this, Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. Why? Because the inhabitants that are in control of it are destroying the earth. They're destroying the earth and destroying the people on the earth. The vegetation, the animals, you know, the greenery, grass, the trees, everything. They're destroying everything, man. That's why it says that the earth is out of course. Because this devil that's in charge, of the world doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And then after he's destroyed the earth, now he wants everybody else to clean it up and pay for it. You know? Now you have to put in your part for, to try to clean it up after he done destroyed everything. You have these big corporations that, leak all kind of waste and toxic, waste into the oceans and into the seas and all that. And when they get slapped with a fine, the fine is only maybe a couple of, a few, maybe $10, $20, $30,000. In comparison to millions or billions, that's nothing. So they'll take the fine. They'll get hit with the fine and pay the fine and continuously dump out their shit, because one thing with toxic waste is very expensive to dispose of, to dispose of it properly. And these devils are greedy. They can never have enough, so they don't want to dispose of it the proper way to spend the extra money. So they'll just dump it into the sea. They'll dump it into the ocean. They'll dump it into onto the earth somewhere, where it seeps into the ground and destroys the ground, and that thing spreads. You had companies like DuPont and others that had plants near, farms. The animals started getting cancer. The land started getting jacked up. The food started getting tainted, because this beast that's in power is just that, a goddamn beast, and he's destroying everything. So he has to go. But in order for him to go, these things that are written have to happen. I'll mention it again: Jacob's trouble, the MOTB, the concentration camps, martial law, the UBI, which is a universal basic income, which everything is being digitalized now, because once they get you on the grid, everything is going to work under a social credit score. And the only ones that can participate are going to be the ones that comply. Now, there was this meme, I believe, that a call for an uprising. He had on his channel a video he did, right? And they show you the credit score, right? It shows you like a bunch of different men and women on looked like a train. Some were sitting down, some were standing up, and it had over them a circle with their credit score. Now, all the women's credit scores were way high, and all the men's credit scores were way low. I noticed that, So pretty much based off of your credit score, just like to get approved to buy a car or to buy a home or to, get a loan, you have to, depending on your credit score. Well, that's how the new system is going to work. And you could, and China is pretty much the model for that. Because things are going to get hard. That's why the Lord said that to these international banking families, howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Because you've defrauded the world. You've made the people of the world to be pretty much in chaos, so that you can live lavishly, so you can set your nest up on high and relax and chill, and everybody else just catching hell. So it goes on to say, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth, meaning it's lacking, and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Yeah, because you're supposed to be in charge. You're the landlord. And you're not, keeping your end of the bargain. Because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And guess what? You're not ruling it correctly. Now, what I want to do is I want to look up that word fadeth. So just bear with me a second. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24 and 4. The word for fadeth, right? Fadeth away. The word there is nabal, like to be, to be foolish. And why is it going to fade away? Because the people that are ruling it are foolish. It says to treat with contempt, to sink or drop down. Right. And why is it sinking or dropping down? Because they're not ruling it correctly. Elder Apostle Gabar always speaks about the land Sabbaths. They don't keep land Sabbaths. They don't keep anything holy. And this is why everything is turned upside down, because you're supposed to follow a particular guideline that the Lord set up. And that guideline helps everything work, in its proper function, in its proper order. When you start taking out, scavenger fish and unclean fish out of the waters, you're taking out the garbage men of the seas. And what that causes is pollution, because these fish that are supposed to clean the ocean are being eaten by these people out here. They're delicacies. And that's off. Pigs, you're not supposed to be eating no pig, nothing like that, because the pig pretty much are the garbage men of the earth. So that's why everything is out of course. The nutrients, in the ground is not there, because they're farming the land to death, and they're not allowing the land to replenish itself of its nutrients. And that's why these foods are nutrient deficient, and that's why you have to go and take supplements. And they even brought out in the supplements that those supplements are jacked up, man. That video that the brother sent me, it brings all of that out. The supplements are jacked up. You put them and you bake them, and they're pretty much filled with all type of chemicals and all type of stuff that's just constantly destroying the human body. Then on the other hand, you have this transhumanism BS, where they're trying to make people to live forever. Well, the people are not meant to live forever. The proof of that is when we go back to the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter. In Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the Yahushua and the angels had a council. They said, look, what are we going to do? Because, the man has become as one of us, knowing good and evil, because that's the ultimate, the ultimate perfection, so to speak, is to know both good and evil. They said, what are we going to do? Lest he put forth his hand and eat from the tree of life and live forever. So in this time now, we're not supposed to live forever. When the kingdom is established, the Israelites are going to get that upgrade. And we're going to be the only ones to live forever, not the other nations. But these devils take it upon themselves to be and replace the Most High. Now, when you read Isaiah 14, you have scholars that talk about that. That's talking about the king of Babylon. It's not talking about the king of Babylon, the ancient king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, none of them. It's talking about the modern day, Babylonians, which are the so-called Americans, Babylon the Great. Because Nebuchadnezzar and them, they never went up to the heavens. They never set their nest among the stars. They never, sent up planes and helicopters and space shuttles or none of that. They never tried to be the Most High. They never tried to alter the creation of the Most High, which are humans. They never did that. There's no other nation that ever did that except for you devils today. But you're the last leg of the Roman Empire. You are the toes, and the feet of that image that's about to be smashed by, the stone, which is Yahushua. You've been put in charge and you done totally destroyed everything. So the Most High got a controversy with you. So it goes on in Isaiah 24:5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Right. Defiled meaning that there is taken out of the way. Matter of fact, let's see what that says. Let's see what the word defiled. Will we come up with the word defiled? Let's see. Defiled. The word there is chanap. Chanap. To be profaned. Be defiled. Be polluted. Yeah. Be corrupt. And that's what's happening. And that's why the earth is turning against you. You know, I don't know if that's Isaiah 14. Excuse me, where the earth is turning against, you know, these devils. Because the way you're doing things is totally backwards. You're not fit to rule, man. And that's why Yahushua is coming to kick you out. It says the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Yeah. And by you taking the Bible to yourself, you pretty much put that on yourself. You said that 1983 under Ronald Reagan, 1983 was the year of the Bible. You so-called pride yourself in, you know, in America having its beginnings in the so-called Christian origin, which it didn't. But that's your claim to fame. But everything that you do goes contrary to what the scriptures say. Why? Because you're the wicked. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. So you're not a moral man. You're not a righteous man. You're not fit to rule. So if someone is not fit to rule, what does that mean? That means that they have to be removed out of that position. So right now you're going through the sentencing stage of your judgment, which is coming up soon. Because the first step of your judgment is for the Lord to destroy this world, you know, America, Babylon the Great, and all of it, the land of Israel, and whatever other parts the Most High is going to hit. Destroy all of your militaries, all the nation's militaries, and start afresh with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and the Israelites ruling once again on the planet to set everything back into its proper order. Because the earth is going to be renewed. It's going to be the same earth, but it's just going to be refreshed. The Most High is going to hit the refresh button on it. These devils talking about, what's the term called? Not Build Back Better, but the other one. The reset, the Great Reset. Well, the Great Reset is going to be when Yahushua comes back and sets everything back into its proper order. And that's what we're waiting for. You know, that's what we're hoping for. That's what we pray for. That's what we speak about. So in order for the kingdom to come, all the things that are written about have to happen. Misery has to come. Hard times has to come. You know? The whole destruction of this economic system, or the flip of it, so to speak, you know, being brought into a new world order. Financially. Digitally. All of this stuff has to happen in order for the end to come. This is 2 Peter chapter 3. I'll start at 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, and not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Right, all the Israelites. Because when you read this epistle, the Apostle Peter was addressing the Israelite foreigners, the strangers of Israel, which he called saints, which he called holy people, because they were the Israelites. So when it says here, he would have all men to be saved, that's talking about all of Israel. But all Israel is not going to be saved in this time, because there's a certain number that's going to be cut off and die. Right? It goes on to say, But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. And although it's speaking loud and clear, most Jakes out here are not going to see this. Most people out here are not going to see the destruction coming. Even though it's right there, it's clear as day. The scriptures speak about it. The prophets out here prophesying, speaking about it. But it's still going to come upon them at unawares. It says, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. And what is that great noise? The great noise is talking about those missiles. When they hit. And the heavens that it's speaking about is Esau and the other nations' heavens. Because Esau is in charge. He's over everything. Let me know if there's too much wind. I'll roll the window up. You know, if it's too much wind, let me know. I'll roll the window up. You know, Esau is in charge, but all of the other nations also are ruling. They are the kings or the rulers of the earth also. So that's why Yahushua is coming to take them down, and that's why it calls him King of Kings and Lord of Lords, because he's coming to take all of the crowns of these different nations. In other words, he's going to be credited with taking Esau and the other nations down. So this heaven is going to pass away with a fervent heat. It's going to pass away, you know, with this great noise that's about to explode, dealing with these missiles. It says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. What are the elements? That's everything you see. From the trees to the homes, to the businesses, to the cars, to the military tanks, planes, trains, automobiles, helicopters, anything that has anything to do with something that these devils built, or just in general the anything on that's within the reach of those missiles is going to all be taken out. Because that's the judgment, or the second death, as the scriptures call it. It says, the earth also and the works thereof shall be burnt up. Right, because Esau's whole system is going to be turned upside down, is going to be destroyed. That's why it says, when he's about to eat, the Most High shall cast the wrath of his fury upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He's at the point now where they're getting ready to start eating. The meal is just about ready. Stuff is starting to come out, out the oven. The table is already set. The plates, the cups, the spoons, everything, the silverware, everything is in there, and they're starting to bring out, the food to the table. And then, then you have to have the serving. Once they serve everybody and everybody gets ready to get that first bite, and they start eating, oh, this is good, boom. Then the Lord's going to lower the boom on them. It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Yeah, this is what we're supposed to be talking about. We're supposed to be talking about the destruction of this devil when he goes down. Because he has to go down. Yahushua said, if those days don't be shortened, there shall no flesh be left to be saved. Look, the earth can't keep going on the way it's going. We can't keep going on the way we're going. Eating this fucking garbage. And some brothers say, well, I eat organic. Yeah, well, even that shit is tainted. We try to eat the best that we can, but it's still tainted. See? It's still jacked up. It's still no good. Scriptures say we shall eat our bread defiled among the Gentiles. So we eat the best that we can. We try to do the best that we can, but at the end of the day, we can't go overboard with it, because we're looking for the mercies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So we do the best we can, but at the end of the day, let the Lord take over. Let him, the scriptures say, cast thy burdens upon the Lord. And he's the one that's going to sustain us. It says, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High. So if you're not looking forward to and hastening the coming of the Lord, then you're in the wrong spirit. Because if you're not looking for and hastening the coming of the Lord, that means that you're comfortable here. That means that you like this place. That means that you don't mind, you know, being ruled over by these devils. You know? So you're not in the right frame of mind if you're not hastening the coming of the Lord. And that's what we should be doing. We should be hastening the coming of the Lord. Which the word hastening means to hurry up. You know, the sooner the better. It can't come fast enough. But in the midst of all of that, all of these things that are written have to happen. The concentration camps, the martial law, the MOTB, you know, the hardships, the Jacob's trouble. All of these things have to happen in order for the end to come. Like my man Screwface said, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want dead. You know, we're not gonna make it out of here. You know, the scripture, like brother posted the scripture a little while ago, confirming the souls of the disciples that we must do much tribulation enter into the kingdom of heaven. So it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be hard. You know, but at the end of the day, that's how it's gonna go down. And these people that are sleeping, you know, these jakes that are sleeping, that turn their nose up when they hear the word, that bad mouth the word. When the time comes, they're gonna be in a world of hurt. Very soon. We're approaching the end of June. And they're saying that this is as good as it's gonna get. You know, once July start rolling around, you know, things are gonna start getting worse. Prices ain't going down on these goods out here. People are faced with either put gas in your car or eat food. And if you don't put gas in the car, you can't go to work. So they're faced with a lot of hard decisions, and they're going to be faced with even harder decisions. You either eat or you lose your home. You either eat or you lose, you know, your job. You either eat or you put gas in your car, in your vehicle. It's going to get bad, but it has to get bad in order for the kingdom to come. All of this nastiness that's supposed to happen, these perilous times, have to come. Yep, this is good right here. Salak, I ain't reading all you brothers. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, Salak, I'm going to read this one too. This is Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore and pray always that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. Yeah. So all of these things have to happen. And we should want these things to happen. It's not going to be easy, but that's the only way the kingdom will come, when these things come to pass. 2 Ezra 14:15-16. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from the times, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Yeah. And pretty much, you know, hard times are coming. Hard times are coming. And they have to come in order for the kingdom to be established. You know, because sometimes, you know, you have individuals out there that may get into, you know, a comfort zone where they don't want things to happen. They want things just to stay the way they are, you know, so that, you know, and then still expect to go into the kingdom. You know, still expect things that to roll the way they're rolling, and no hardship to come, you know, and expect the kingdom to come. The kingdom ain't coming until all of these things are fulfilled. You know? So let me read that again. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens, which is Esau's heavens, and the other nations, being on fire, shall be dissolved. Right. And the dissolving of one will be the implementation of the next. Because unlike that mythical bird, the phoenix, that is burnt up and it rises back from the ashes, The rising up from the ashes is going to be Yahweh Bashem Yahushai / Israel's kingdom. It says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Yeah. That is the second death, that judgment. You know, the Terminator 2 Judgment Day, you know, vision that I believe the guy that produced that movie, I believe he actually had a dream like that or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But it wasn't a dream, it was a vision from the Lord. And you have a lot of people that are seeing visions of the end and of the destruction and of the chariots, you know, and of the people being implemented with the MOTB, you know, and of these concentration camps, detention centers, so on and so forth. The hardships that are coming. People are seeing that. The Lord said that he will pour his spirit upon all flesh. They shall dream dreams and see visions. We're at that time now. And that's what these things are speaking. And they have to happen before the kingdom of heaven can come. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, what promise? Going back to the book of Isaiah. Look for new heavens and a new earth wherein what? Wherein dwelleth righteousness. Because in this kingdom here, righteousness doesn't dwell in this kingdom. How do we know that? Because when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. People are not rejoicing. People are losing it. People are catching hell. They're in all kinds of binds. You know, faced with hard decisions. Eat or pay bills. Eat or be homeless. Eat or go to work. And it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. Because this is exactly what they want. And it's not a coincidence that the economies of the world are being affected. The supply chains of the world are being affected. It's not a coincidence. These things are happening because this is exactly what they've planned to do all along. To have the whole system implode and collapse within itself so that they can offer the new solution, which is your UBI, your digital currencies, you know, everything online, everything monitored. This is that beast, man, with the 7 heads and 10 horns, which is the 7 empires of Esau, starting from the Greeks, you know, ending with the British, America being the 8th head, and then the 10 horns, which is the EU. And also NATO is a part of all of that. That's that beast system. All so-called European, so-called white people. So you could understand. That's that whole beast system. So it says, wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent that you may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. Yeah. And that's why we teaching the words. That's why we doing the work of the Lord to the best of our ability. So that when Yahushua comes back, he can be pleased with us. You know, we don't want when the Lord come back to tell us, you know, get your punk ass out of here. You know, like my man said, yeah, man, I'm just trying to get right, man, because when Jesus come back, man, I don't want him to tell you to turn your punk ass around. You know? We want the Lord, that, you know, that's that movie Baby Boy. We want the Lord to embrace us. To call us, well done, my good servant. Oh, man. Can you imagine that? Yahushua himself telling us that? Well done, my good servant, my good and faithful servant. That's going to be like you know, that's going to be like the best award that you could ever receive. Fuck a Oscar, fuck a Tony, you know. But the award we get from Yahushua, that them crowns for being a faithful and good servants. Wow. Man, that's something, man. It says, an account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation. We have examples. We have examples of our Lord Yahushua and the disciples, which became apostles, and all of the great men of the Lord, and going in the past, all of the prophets and the hardships that they went through. And now we're at the point now where all of those things that the prophets suffered and all the righteous men suffered unto this day are about to be rewarded with the first dominion in the kingdom of heaven. How about that? That's going to be something, man. It's going to be something. It says, even as our beloved brother Paul, also according to the wisdom given unto him, hath written unto you. Yeah, because the Apostle Paul was writing about these things, and that's why the Apostle Paul was so vehement in writing to the brothers back then about the hardships that he was going through, to embolden them to be able to continue in the word, so that they can receive the same gift that he was going to receive. You know, he said he fought the good fight of faith. He's finished his course at that time. He knew that there was going to be a crown laid up for him in these times. It says, as also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood. And that's why you have individuals out there that wrestle with the epistles of the Apostle Paul. That's why they'll make stupid statements. Like, not everything that Paul said is gospel. You know, they'll make stupid statements like that because they're wrestling with the writings of the Apostle Paul. And even Peter said that. It says, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest, or they wrestle it, as they do also the other scriptures unto their own destruction. And that's what's happening. You know, so these things have to happen. These things have to come to pass. You know, the end will not come until everything is fulfilled in the scriptures. You have to keep reminding yourself about it. We have to keep reminding ourselves about that. Now I want to end it off here in this precept here. Let's see where we're going to start. This is 2 Ezra 7 and 6. Then there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. This is the kingdom of heaven. The entrance thereof is narrow. We read about that in Matthew 7. And is set in a dangerous place to fall. Right. And that's the dangers that are coming. The persecutions and everything that's coming. You know, the much tribulation to enter into the kingdom. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Right. Because in order to get to it, you got to pass through all of those hardships. And if you make it through there, then you will be worthy to receive that reward. It says, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. You see? So these things must happen. In order for the kingdom of heaven to come, this kingdom has to fall. And all of the things that are prophesied must happen. You know? And we mentioned it several times in this lesson. So with that, I pray that you brothers and your few sisters have been edified. Until the next time I say, Shalom.